What is your NSFW fun fact about yourself?
Thanks to an autoimmune disease, my dick is a couple of different colors. No other part of my body has been affected, just my dick.
Girlfriend got a dildo with a suction cup and we were fooling around and I stuck it to my forehead. I was a dildo unicorn for about 30 seconds, took it off, and the look of horror from her said it all. I had a giant purple bruise on my forehead. Couldn't find a good excuse, so I called out of work the next day and learned how to do makeup. Don't be a dildo unicorn.
I once had to go to the hospital for what was diagnosed as a post-orgasmic migraine.
My pee turns toilets purple. It was the freakiest thing when it started happening and my doctor couldn't figure out what was happening. I would use a toilet, and then a few hours later brownish spots would appear, and those spots would eventually turn a purplish color. My wife and I figured it had to be something to do with my medication, because it only started happening when I switched to new meds. Eventually, after a lot of research, we found a paper in a medical journal that mentioned that in very rare cases the urine of patients who took my medication would have interactions with various household cleaners. That interaction can happen on the film of cleaning solution residue on toilets and turn brown, red, or even purple.
My testicles are drastically different sizes. Like a golf ball and a macadamia nut. Edit, I appreciate the concern but nothing to worry about. They've been like that as long as I can remember. I saw a doctor when I was a teenager and he said there was likely an injury to the smaller one causing the larger one to grow extra for it during puberty.
The former Prime Minister, Taoiseach, of Ireland has touched my penis. In a medical context, of course. Edit, well, this blew up. Thanks for the awards, wow. For context, this was about 12 or 13 years ago when he was doing his GP placement in my local practice. I needed something checked out, and as I had worked in that practice doing archive filing during the summer as a kid, and my ma'am also worked there as a secretary, Ireland is tiny, I didn't want to go one of the regular docs as they all knew me. So I went to him, he then referred me to a specialist, who, again coincidentally, happened to be my best mate's father. I then had surgery twice after that to fix the issue. What I will say about him is that, while I, like most Irish people, have a number of things relating to his politics that I'm not a fan of, I will say that he was especially kind to my ma'am after my dad had a severe heart attack a few years ago, and that counts for a lot for me.
I don't know if this is NSFW, but when I was born my penis was so crooked they had to completely rearrange it in surgery. They said that if it was left as it was my dick would point at a 60 or so degree angle to the left, and that urinating would have been quite the task.
I once realigned the lower spine of a girl I had been seeing by, well, doggy style. She had been plagued by lower back and tailbone issues for months until that fateful day. She thanked me for my services and needless to say, my dick is now a licensed chiropractor.
I have breast implants from having breast cancer. They get cold and it's built-in air conditioning.
Whenever I go pee, I just brush my pubes.
At the height of experiencing prolonged concussion symptoms, I masturbated and felt a jolt, like a shock of electricity, travel up my body to the part of my brain where a light fixture fell on my head. My symptoms instantly subsided.
An ant bit my testicles once while I was having sex at a hiking trail. In case anyone is wondering, it was awful.
I once was the dude the lesbian chick had sex with who upon having sex with me decided she does in fact like girls. I take this as both a compliment and an insult.
I got circumcised at 25 after slicing my foreskin, and a vasectomy at 30. My Frank and Beans hate me.
I use my right hand for everything, except for masturbating. I just can't with my right hand.
My dad was having sex with a hospital nurse while my mom was giving birth to me. That's long been used for the many fights and reasons my mom hates men.
Smoking killed my libido, so I killed 2 birds with 1 stone and quit for good by rubbing one out each time I got a craving. Like multiple times a day, especially at work. 10/10 would recommend.
My picture was published in Playboy magazine.
On occasion my dreams are so vivid that I mistake them as reality, and only realize it's not so after I wake up. The rare times when I have the urge to pee in the morning after stupidly drinking liters of water before I sleep, my dreams shift to being in the toilet where I pee, my brain and body get synchronized to my dream and I end up pissing in my pants. Weird-ass embarrassing experience, and I'm in my 20s. Probably a consequence of stress.
It bends to the right.
I have two assholes update. I am sorry to those of you that feel misled. The second hole above my anus is inactive. There has been an inquisition or interrogation into my anuses/ani/anuses, no idea how to pluralize it. Second one isn't an anus, it's a hole in the crack of my ass that serves no purpose. One person suggested smuggling, but it would need to have very high cost to density to make sense. Anyway, thanks for the interest.
I can Jedi mind trick myself to come with no physical contact.
I'm several months out from the last time I had sex. I had a checkup recently and had a blood pressure cuff strapped around my wrist. When it squeezed my wrist, I immediately got pretty turned on. Apparently I miss physical contact.
I don't have a gag reflex, which hasn't been great the few times I've actually choked in something.
I once spied on someone jerking off in the nearby stall at a mall toilet room. That was an experience, but I really don't want to repeat it.
My dick is average.
I open NSFW posts at work.
Due to an error in the hospital system that happened when I was born, my last name is technically Coomer.
Slept with a very quiet guy, finished, thought he did shortly after, and was like that was totally better than the first time, and we cleaned up and passed out. Found out the next morning that he absolutely had not finished. Whoops. Total sweetheart though, just never thought that as a woman I would finish and my FWB wouldn't. Edit, no. You guys. I didn't even give the man a chance to finish. I thought he was done, so I hopped off when apparently we were just doing a position change. He was too awkward to bring up that he wasn't done yet.
I found out the hard way that I can fit my hand in my ass after loosing anal beads during sex.